Unsettled. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to the midpoint check-in of our Emergent Festival. We are your hosts, Joe and George, and Amy. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And as we gather around, I have requested, please introduce yourself in the chat with the project that you're representing from Emergent Festival. Yeah, so we know we have representation here. Just take a moment. Hi, Vida. Welcome, welcome. Please introduce yourself and the project you are presenting in the chat.
We got a notification of absence from Eileen, so she can't make it today.
And should we do quick round of if you were an animal, what animal you would be in this moment? Please use and why. Please use your voice to come in and to introduce the animal in you.
I think today I would be a cat because all I feel like doing is lounging on the sofa, but I have been working since 7. So it's only wishful thinking, unfortunately, but I wish I were a cat. That's me, check.
Welcome, cat Amy. Amy cat. Who's next?
Yeah, I can go. I feel like a butterfly about to change. So before the metamorphosis.
Yeah, you're a caterpillar, huh?
Yeah.
In the chrysalis. Are you the goo already? You're the goo. Welcome, goo. Next.
I can go. There's a heat wave in the UK, so some kind of animal that lies around in the sun. Maybe a lion or a sloth.
Lion or a
Sloth.
sloth. You have to pick both, like completely opposite side of the spectrum. Pick one, please. So we have other people picking the other if they choose.
Yeah, let's say a lion.
Lion. Cool. Next.
Hi, it's Figile here. I think I would be a water turtle today. I feel like I just want to swim quietly and just, listen and yeah, and chill a bit. There's a lot going on at the moment. I'm in between meetings and things. I would just want to be in that flow. Thanks.
Did you tell me the animal? Sorry, it's just
Yeah, the water turtle.
Water what?
Turtle. How Turtle.
Oh, turtle. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why the image popped up into my head, but I feel like I'm an octopus today. Maybe everything on Fikina, we were having a conversation earlier that we're both in the ocean vibe, but I just have many things to juggle, and I'm being asked to adapt and change and be very quick. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. George, I just sent you a message to respond to, but who else? Daniel and Leonora and Nitsi Kelelo.
Yeah, I'm an eagle.
Eagle.
I'm an eagle. Yes, I'm flying, and I'm flying as the wind is taking me. Where the wind is taking me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Daniel, do you have your animal ready?
No, but the one that comes to mind is a pygmy marmoset.
Huh?
A pygmy marmoset.
What is that?
It's a small marmoset. It's a small furry monkey
Ah, pygmy
playing around.
monkey.
I'm a bit furry.
Ah,
I'd like to be playing around in the trees, eating the odd grasshopper,
oh, okay.
and just playing around really.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a new one I have to Google. That's why I like these check-ins, because I get to know all the animals in the world when I do these check-ins. I'm gonna struggle pronouncing that name, but Nitsikilelo.
Hi everyone. Hi. I think you will get used to that pronunciation. By the end of the year, you will know how to pronounce it. So today I just feel like a python. I feel like I can just eat and lay. So with the silence around me, yes, and the presence of fear. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And today I feel like I'm an owl. I don't know why. Normally I'm never owl, but today Joe is an owl. I just wanna observe and just big eyes observe. But I have to facilitate all of us, so I'm here. Thank you so much for playing. We have a couple of things on the agenda. And we are going to shift gears here so we can orient ourselves into the Emergent Festival. We also wanted to know how you are feeling about your projects. So in a 1 word or 2 words or in a sentence, please, let's go around the room, preferably in the order that we went in for our animals. Naomi, you would be the first one. The brave soul. How are you feeling about your project? 1 word or a sentence?
Good. I feel good, and it has the process of actually doing this has been very enriching. Obviously, I speak on my own behalf. Maybe Vida can also say something about it when it comes her turn.
That's good. Next is George. How are you feeling about your project?
Yes, I'm feeling hopeful because we have had a challenging start in the project, and but I'm feeling quite energized despite the challenges, and I think that we will meet our goals anyway.
Thank you. Thank you. Charlie.
Been taking a back seat in the project, but we're having a meeting tomorrow about how to upload onto the website. So I'll have some input there. But I think it seems like I'm feeling good.
Okay, you were coming in and out for me. I didn't hear the last sentence, but I've heard you're taking a back seat and there's something happening tomorrow, and then
Yeah, that's pretty much.
okay. Sounds good. Fikile.
I'm feeling hopeful. That's my 1 word. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Did I pronounce your name all right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Chia.
Thank
That's
you.
perfect.
Please correct me because I hardly get to see you all. So
No, that's all
a
right.
little while for me to get used to the names. Cool. Vida, how are you feeling about your project? I think you have a couple of projects, no? Here, the Landless project and also Permaculture from Africa. Or no? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can talk about both of them.
I'm feeling personally stretched, but I feel like the Landless project has a lot of potential. And Permaculture in Africa, I feel very fulfilled by this project. I think it had a good process.
Awesome. Thank you. And the next one is Leonora.
I feel excited and positive about our project.
I did not hear that. Did anybody catch that? Sorry.
I got excited
And
and
positive.
positive.
And
Positive. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the next one we have Daniel.
I was looking in I was looking in the thesaurus for a different word for positive, but it's too late now, so I'll just say positive.
Optimistic.
Oh,
Sunshine. Sunshine.
sunshine, yeah. I should just use, yeah, okay, positive.
Thank you.
In a
Nancy,
word.
hello. Oh my God.
I will just go with the word that I feel honored. Honored.
Honored. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Well, for me, I don't know how I'm feeling. It's hard to give me a second. I'm not on the project. I suppose I'm quiet and calm because I'm not rushed to deliver anything about the project. So I don't have feelings about these projects, which is fine because I'm not on the project. Thank you so much for addressing that. We'll the next things just basic logistics, how this is gonna go. No rush yet. Yes, we are halfway through. We'll just quickly touch base on why we are here, who's here from all the projects which you've already informed in the chat. We do not have a representation from Permaculture Glossary team. If George, you can find out who they are, and if we need to catch up, if we have heard from them in some ways, we'll get back with them. And then what is the intention of meeting here, and some deadlines for you to note, give you a larger context, give a larger context, and just go through we have a couple of questions for you to understand if there are any challenges, how we can help you progress, but also essentially celebrating that we are halfway through. We are happy about our projects. The overall tone has been exciting, positive, hopeful, on target. So I'm really liking hearing that. But we'll go into a few specific questions we get to answer. And then we have our next steps PM, Amy here. And how can we find support from three of us, George and I from Emergent Festival, and also Amy from Next Steps as a project manager. And then we'll check out. That's the high level agenda for what we've planned. We're going to try and get through as quickly as possible so we all can go home. I'm home. Still, we all can go home. Finish this as and also in a spacious way. So that's the intention for us to gather around here. We'll acknowledge celebration, we'll acknowledge progress, we'll acknowledge the challenges we have, and also report if we are aligned with timelines and budgets and our learnings. So I'll guide you through the process of these questions, and we'll just go around and chat about them. Is that a fair agenda? Ish? Cool. You all know why we are here, right? It's the midway point of Emergent. You all got funding. You all started your projects. This is our midway, and then there is going to be one at the end. As we are progressing, we'll keep an eye on the timelines and the objectives. This is also the point to re-evaluate your objectives and see if you are able to work on it. If you don't, then set expectations and all of that. So this is that point. Hopefully you are noting that for all of your projects. In a larger context of Next Steps projects, Amy, do you have anything you wanted to bring in at this time?
No, but I wanted to say thank you to all the projects who have submitted their reports on time for the first quarter. This was a very important one to set the tone and to continue in this way. Joe will go over the deadlines, and of course, as Next Steps contributors, you are supported by the people who hold roles within the Next Steps project. That's myself as project manager, Kate, who evaluates the project's delivery. So if you want to ask Kate questions about measuring impact or the evaluation, you can talk to her. And Natalia takes care of making payments, and you're not due a payment until you finish your project in October, but when that time comes, then we can also help you if you've never invoiced before and you need help with the technology, we'll help you with that. Other than that, I think that's it. We have been pushing for projects to make sure that their projects descriptions are up to date on the website. So please take a moment to review your project pages and let Charlie know if there's any changes. Charlie is our comms officer. And also we want to make sure that all the artifacts produced through Next Steps project carry the correct license. So at the moment there's an exercise going. So make sure that you watch the demo for the licensing. So anything you produce already carries the correct licensing, which helps us by saving us a lot of time later trying to apply licenses to old artifacts and so on. You are still accountable according to the community accountability policy. So if you need a reminder of that, of what are your obligations as a Next Steps contributor, you're encouraged to read through that again. And if you find yourself at any point that you cannot deliver for any reason or that you're falling short somewhere, then please let me know ASAP so that I can help you. Okay, I think that's it from our little boring admin corner.
Yeah. And it's always good to be reminded there is a policy statement. It's the Emergent Policy Statement where you will see what you have said yes to, and hopefully you're all keeping tab on it as you are delivering your projects. Thank you for showing up. This is one of the things that we definitely wanted, is the representation of the projects on these calls was mandated, and thank you for showing up. Who's missing here? When we started this Emergent Festival, we had the IACT and Land Center's Handbook Translation Project. Also, the funds were allocated and they began, but life happened for its participants, and they have withdrawn from this run of Emergent Festival. Amy, I have a question. So what happens now? Or what has happened since their withdrawal?
What has happened was that the money was allocated to the not rock stars, the other ones.
Yeah, ravers.
Yes, the ravers to allocate, and it was allocated. So all the money is allocated, and so everything was fine. George maybe can speak into the reasons why that withdrawal happened. So that it's clear and transparent for everybody, but yes, basically everything was okay.
Yes, I can talk about it shortly. We had the idea to translate this manual IACT and Land projects into Spanish and eventually Portuguese. The idea and the project still exist, but it runs in a different line or funding option, because we realized that without enough funding to cover it, it would be unsustainable for us to proceed. So we decided to give back the funds to other projects. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Some important dates to keep in mind, and you will also hear back from us, are, October 10th, we have the next session, the reporting. It's not fourth quarter, sorry. This is wrong information. I'm going to delete that. I copied it from somewhere else.
I'm pasting it, Joe.
I got it. just a different window that I was pasting it from. Cool. October 10th, noon UTC is when all the projects will come to a close and reporting has to be completed by that time. And then the same day we'll go into an event like this where we do the celebration and literally like a chapter close, but also nicely tie with a bow, kind of a thing. And then 15th is where we'll all get to invoice for our projects. That's the deadline. We can start from 10th to 15th. Any questions on the dates? Just logistics. You can find those in the canvas of the Slack channel. So please find those dates as well, and we will remind you. Feels like that was a whole admin of getting started, which is good. Within 10 minutes, we finished the admin boring stuff. Thank you for still sticking through with us. My first question to you, and actually I'm going to put all these questions to each of these projects, whoever you're representing, and I'll call upon the projects one by one. But these are all the prompts that you can be inspired to talk from. Is how does my team feel about this project and how has our journey been? It's a storytelling. So what is the story of your togetherness in this project? What is the actual stand of our project, which is essentially, how much you have accomplished based on your milestones, your objectives, what are the challenges, and what do you need as a support in order to complete it? Doesn't mean it has to come from us. It is essentially, anything that you need to do to complete it. Are we aligned in the timeline and budget, and what have we learned so far? So pick any of these and try to cover as much as possible. The order of the projects that we will go through is first the Landless Permaculturist project. I'll make space for them. So that would be Vida, Fikle, Leonora, and Kilelo. Please unmute yourself and pick up any of those prompts or tell us our story about your project.
Sure. Thank you so much, Joe. And please, for the rest of the team, feel free to jump in if you would like to add here. I think that the project had the funding strategy of having some of it funded from Emergent and some of it funded from the diversity pot. And then when that was not possible to do the way that we had envisioned, the way that I saw it working last year, I think it took a bit of time to restructure. So we're now at the place where we know very clearly what the project actually is and how we want to sort of reevaluate our objectives. And we also know now what we can apply for in the diversity pot that would add to this project if we still are going to go that route. In terms of the actual project, we have had some nice sessions together. Leonora's been doing some research, and Pru's been doing some grassroots research. Vikil has been guiding us and helping with the research process itself. And I've been kind of in a project management space. So we have this beautiful Asana. We've been learning Asana together. And we have clear research directions of the type. So the project is around land and land access. So we have research directions of the types of land mapped out. And then within each of those categories, we're now just starting to fill in examples where we're going to go and interview and then use that information to actually create the guide. So yeah, I think we are not 100% at that midpoint because we had to take time to restructure. I guess my question is, I'm not sure how it works compared to next steps, where our team agreement is. If we have to restructure our objectives, maybe I think just some admin support at that level would be helpful at this point. In terms of what we need, I don't know. I think we just need to give it space to grow. Anyone else from the team want to add?
I can add, Vida. I think just to add, I think that in terms of what do we need in order to complete, I feel like there's still some work that we need to do to clarify each person's role more. I think each of us are doing our work, but I feel like there's still some kind of depth that we need to do to clarify really who's doing what, so that we're not all doing the same thing at the same time. Just to avoid duplication. So I feel like that's something that we probably can still flesh more, as Vida is saying. I agree with Vida. I think we have arrived at a sense of alignment just in terms of understanding the objectives of what we are busy with, the timeline, and understanding the budget related to that. And the learning really has been that, for me personally, this is work that flows. It's work that that is about fluidity, and also sometimes we do expect that we can do it all together at the same time, but because we all sometimes in different places, it's not necessarily going to happen that way. But when any of us can do what they can at a certain time and feed into the pot of the collective, then we know that something is being done. So that's, for me, something that I'm learning, just to be comfortable perhaps with the discomfort, because some, like, life happens and a lot of things in between, and in the kind of collective that we are, also many of us are doing this work really from the place of love, and not necessarily being employed. So there are life real issues that sort of kick in, and then I think those kinds of life issues cause delays along the way. But we're okay with that. I think the beauty of us is that we are in conversation with each other, in some way. And what I'm also learning is also just the compassion and the patience that I think, particularly from Vida, because Vida is sort of the lead on the project, and I can understand the frustration sometimes when you're needing to report, you're needing to communicate stuff, and it can feel a little bit chaotic, like maybe different members of the team putting different things at different times. But just the ability to hold that frustration and to hold that in a caring and compassionate and loving way is, for me, something that I'm learning even more deeply, and appreciate. And we do constantly remind ourselves and each other about, like, the importance of embedding and staying in the sociocratic space, because we're a sociocratic collective. And sometimes when you work, those lines can be blurry, and just in terms of who decides when the decisions are being made, how to move between in and out of circles that we are, because we're operating like that. It can also be just not clear. But we also understand for ourselves that when those lines are not clear, it means we are really truly being sociocratic, because there are no lines. It's not linear. It's just like cyclic all the time. So I'm appreciating that, and for me, that's the learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mikhail. It was nice to hear the learning, and also, how you're feeling with the uncertainty. It's all expected as part of projects, right? Like, life happens. So thank you so much for bringing that to light. Any other voices from that project that wants to be heard, shared?
It's Leonora here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Leonora.
Okay. Yes. We've also created a Google Docs where we put all our research in, and all of us have got access to it. And I think, for me, we are quite on the track. From my side, I've done also the research on the SADC regions around Africa, to see how it is much different from from Africa and South Africa. So I think the Google Docs is a good space so that documents doesn't get lost. So for me, I think I'm positive about it, and I think a lot of work has been done. It's just to put it together, the dots and the knots. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I understand the documents, introduction of data sharing there. Awesome. You're the only voice left, Nitsikilelo. Do you want to speak? Are you happy with what your team has said? Do you have anything different or more or strengthening to the story?
Thank you so much for opportunity again. This particular project has actually brought us together, and sharing and learning other things in the space. Mostly, the opportunity to be introduced with Vida, with Asana application. It's very, 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 very beautiful place because it actually we in the last meeting we actually came up with questions that so excuse me, questions where we can do we do research with them. And what I like about that program also, you know what you want, everything that you want, you just put it right there. And honestly speaking, I've also been blessed, we've been blessed with Leon sharing the excuse me, sharing the research, on Google Docs, making sure that when it goes to Asana, at least we know that this is what we're putting. And I'm not gonna lie, and also being under leadership of Dr. Fikile has been a blessing. It's been a blessing from day one. And because of she guides as well, and every time she reminds that there's a collective space, and we need to contribute equally, even though sometimes she said that because of nature of life, we have problems that will stop us, to pursue other projects to us. And mostly, this place has also managed us to, we have what we call shared dating. Data is not available for everyone, so the space has also made sure that, we have data to operate and to do other researches concerning this particular project and other project that concern the collective. But out of all, what I've discovered is love out of everything. And I'm also excited because being here, also being in the Coelho collective, it has also granted me, a way or to enroll, so that I can learn also more about other things, eco design that is happening, eco social design, So I've learned a lot of things. I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm learning and unlearning. So I'm grateful for my team with their different leadership skills and their perseverance and patience in order for us to finish this particular project. So I know that from here we're gonna be on Asana to add up and finish up what we have started. I think we are not so far. Thank you so much.
And maybe just to add, Joe, if it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, just much of the time also of the project, really, I think we have to just share with colleagues that has been spent on capacity sharing, because we realize that when we're studying this work, I mean, and also resource sharing, in that, as Mkulu is saying, some of us don't even have computers, we're operating from our phones, and some of those phones are not really like high quality devices, especially when you're working online. So it does sometimes you just can't access information as you would like to if you're working with the high tech device, for instance. So we had to enable the delays that are necessitated by those circumstances. The issue of data is the biggest thing for us. I think, there's been just silences in terms of being able to do the work because people just can't connect, mainly because of data, even if we're able to do that. But I think I just wanted to emphasize that Vida really has played a lot of work, a lot of time, capacity building, capacity sharing, putting systems in place, particularly virtual systems that can enable and make this work easier for us. And I think we're at a place where we are all sort of getting a grip on those systems. We may not necessarily be at the same level, but I think it's a beautiful contribution that Vida has done. And Vida, we really continue to appreciate you for that work. And then we started a process of data sharing amongst ourselves. So those who have, we share with each other to make sure that we all are able to participate equally and qualitatively as possible. And it's been quite a fulfilling experience, because it sort of fulfills our values. We firmly believe in the idea of sharing and giving ourselves in different ways. And I think that is what we have been able to experience at a fundamentally deeper level and real life level for each other, which has been amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I sincerely
Thanks,
encourage you.
Jo.
Yes, Vida.
So I just wanted to thank the team because actually there have been a lot more physical challenges, I think, as you can hear here, that we weren't actually ready to take on a remote collaboration project of this kind of size. And we only realized that because we started the work. But I think that we've figured that out now. But I just what I wanted to say is it's actually been an immense level of like integrity and accountability. In spite of these challenges, like people don't have electricity, they don't have data, but they're still coming to all these meetings. Like no one's been absent for a meeting yet. So I just wanted to say, like, with all of that that's happening, I just want to thank the team for showing up in that.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. I've asked George to collect your objectives for a quick run through. I'm going to paste them here just so others can also know from what they have committed to where they are. Just something for you to read, nothing to respond to. I would want to move to the next project. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you.
good.
Thank you. Thank you. Next project is Return of the CoLab podcast. Charlie and Daniel, floor is yours.
Charlie, over to you. No, let's be a bit serious for a change. I've written some notes whilst everybody was talking about their project, and it's all very inspiring. It's the great word, inspiration. And behind this project, the brains is Charlie. Thanks, Charlie, for making it happen. And tomorrow we're going to have a session together as a team. Well, it's going well so far. I said positive was the word, and it's going quite smoothly. For those who don't know, it's the project is a series of 6 or more, if possible, podcasts from projects that are grassroots permaculture projects. And so far, I have conducted 3 interviews, 1 from the Highlands of Scotland, 2 from Malawi. 1 guy from Cameroon is evading us. But yeah, it's very different from, it's interesting, it's a wide range, this Emergent Festival, but it's very different from the rest of the projects I think we have here. Lots of other projects, they're sort of life involved projects. Emotionally, physically, people put a lot of time and have worked those the rest of their life. Ours is more entertainment, light-hearted. Charlie, you can interject and interrupt me anytime you like. So for us, it's putting the word out, trying to wait for replies from people, making times that works for all of us to conduct an interview. And each interview is conducted questions. I do some research into each project that I'm interviewing for, so that the questions are related to, obviously, their own individual project. And from the two Malawi projects, yeah, it's just amazing the sort of effort and the lifelong how do you call it? Yeah, it's just it's great to hear these projects, and if it's right for me, and hopefully it's the same for other people. That's the idea of these podcasts, so other people can listen to them, get inspired by them, be educated from them, get in contact with some of these people. And funnily enough, the two projects from Malawi are going to be in contact with each other. I'm not sure if that was the result of my interjection, but so that means they'll be able to share knowledge, share resources, and collaborate. Of course, this is what it's all about here. So far, we're doing well. I mean, it's the halfway stage, and we are halfway in terms of the number of podcasts we've done, which is 3. So the Cameroon next interview is evading us. It's not evading us, really. I'm just being dramatic. It's just asymmetrical communicating on Slack. He's a few hours behind, I think, or in front. It doesn't really matter. We miss each other's message, and then I make a meeting, and then one of us, he doesn't attend, apologise. But he really, really wants to be on the podcast, which is great to hear. And he's got some amazing stories. Incredible. So it is going to happen. It's just keeping on top of things. This is the issue, and then not being slack. Pardon the pun. So yeah, just message after message, making sure that there's the right time for everybody to attend for the interview, and then the next stage, which is part of Charlie and I's meeting tomorrow, is then putting everything onto the website so that it's all up and ready for the end of the festival. So it's great to hear these stories. They're fantastic. Really, really good. It's quite maybe a slight contrast with last year's, where it was all, most of the stories were from the West or Europe, I think. They're all from European. And majority of these are probably going to be from African projects. So it's good to have a balance. There was one question or thing that you talked about, I think, Joe, was what we need from the project. Now, this is very interesting because if people are still listening, we still have 2, maybe 3 places left. Now, I will continue. So please, Fikile, Leo, Nsikilelo from the African Landless Permaculture Project. If one of you wants to earn yourselves £25, please get in touch. Have a brief interview, and you'll be part of the PCO Lab Permaculture Project. Or Leonara and Vida from the Permaculture in Africa Project. Again, please get in touch. Fikile from the Equelo Healers Permaculture Project. Get in touch with me on Slack, or Charlie, Daniel Atwell, and we can chat about having an interview. Charlie's turn now.
Thank you so much for that, Daniel. Charlie, any thoughts, any more words you want to add to that story?
I haven't really been part of the process this year. Daniel said he wanted to take the lead, so I'm just here as support and backup. But yeah, tomorrow we have a meeting to discuss how to get stuff onto the website, and then I guess I'll be involved with the promotion side of things later on. So I don't have too much to say. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you for the support role. We all need the support that we need to be successful. So thank you for that. The next project is the ComPC Span. And I think we have George here.
Yes.
There. Hi, George.
Yeah. So I'm representing this project, which is about promoting communicating permaculture in Spanish-speaking countries. And this is actually a project I stepped in to support Aileen, which unfortunately today is not able to participate, but I'm confident I can say something about it that will be agreed, that would be fair. So practically, we're on the second phase of this project. We did a first survey last year on Emergent Festival, and the second step of this project is to develop like a participatory design involving the people that answered to our survey, and also further people and further projects in Spanish-speaking countries. So beyond Spain or Latin America, of course. And yeah, so how do we feel about this? So we had a couple of meetings, and we had some written communication in the meantime. And on the first phase of the project, we realized that we are so. I talked about Aileen, but there's also Alba, which is in Mallorca, and she stepped in this second phase of the project, and all three of us realized that in spring and the beginning of summer, which is until now, we were really full with life commitments and health problems and professional commitments. So we realized that we were not able to start as we wished, like in the first months. But at the same time, we agreed on putting an effort, a collective effort, to develop this design strategy, which will start from us, which we already started actually. So this will be firstly a shared participatory design, a collective design between us three to start the involvement of further people in the Spanish permaculture community. So I personally am quite confident about this, because our goal is to develop and to agree a strategy among us in order to send it to a third phase. And the third phase would be actually the practical aspect of this design. So how to really put it in practice and how to involve these people. So we'll go forth in these next months putting up this strategy, and eventually also starting to contact people and to form this design team to develop this participatory design. So the feeling, so my personal feeling, and what I talked with Aileen also, is that we are quite confident that we manage to do it, because we are so Alba will also support us concerning graphic aspects and her contacts in Mallorca and other parts of Spain. So we, with our design skills and with our communication skills, I believe that we can meet our goals in the timeline that we settled. So I talked about how we feel and also the actual stand, and I believe that we are aligned with the timeline, and we adjusted also our goals according to the budget that we received through Emergent Festival. And I would say that the highlights in our status at the moment, what we have learned, or what would I like to share that we have collectively learned, is this kind of mutual support and solidarity. And like Fikile before said, like working with the heart. I mean, like being able to understand that sometimes life challenges come in between, and people don't do things in the right time they were thinking about previously, because it's just not possible. But also, it's also very nice to feel this support from fellow companions on the team, and also to know that when we have to stretch ourselves and do something quicker in a shorter time to fulfill our goals, is like a collective effort to have then things done. And yes, I would say that's our feelings in the moment.
Thank you for sharing. We miss the rest of the team, but I'm sure you had been a good voice of the team. George, thank you for sharing with us. The next project is the incubation of the Permaculture in Africa project. Yeah, we have Amy and Vida from that.
How does my team feel about the project? Well, we have been meeting synchronously to do the picture forming. And just to give people a bit context, this is a very fresh project in the CoLab. So the purpose or the objective of this project is to picture form around what this new circle could be, or what it would do, and so on. And so the Emergent Festival is helping to finance this picture forming exercise, basically financing members of the team to be able to attend and contribute towards this. We have some structure, and we have a Miro board, which is let's say publish ready. So it's already pre-set, but within that is enough room for people to be creative and bring more questions and so on. So it's been an interesting experience between having enough structure to give a direction, but having enough freedom within that structure to be able for the process to be truly co-creative. And we have approached this in a way that we would approach a permaculture design. So for people who have done their permaculture design certificate, you will see once we have released this artifact that there is an exploration of needs, limits, resources, and a co-creative vision at the end. Initially, the exercise was going to be concluded pretty soon. So in terms of timeline and budget, it would have been finished already from what we had envisaged. But we gave ourselves a little bit more room to get feedback also from the larger community. So there's been a couple of surveys, and we've given people enough time to respond before reconvening. We have also to deal with members of the team who are based in Africa, who have sometimes issues finding enough bandwidth and accessing the tools. For example, Miro is quite bandwidth heavy, so some of the work has to happen offline and not during the call. But I think it is a nice space. It's a nice space where we can truly dive deep into the issues and have conversations about what the needs are, rather than just making a list and moving on. No, we collected, we brainstormed around it, we went to the community, checked our assumptions and what was documented, and then we were able to have a more complete picture after that. We are going into our next meeting soon, and hopefully I am 100% sure we will finish well before the October deadline, because I feel that we're quite close. The next steps are forming together a vision, mission, and aims for the circle, and put down some smart objectives for the longer term, so that this can continue beyond this funding stage. Some of the team members are gifting their time to this picture forming, and some of us are getting paid. So that's also something we've had a conversation around, and how that would work. And I would say we figure things out together in the most cases, and whilst giving ourselves time and space to be able to process what we're doing. Maybe Vida, you want to add something to this?
Yeah, thank you, Amy. I think maybe just as an aside, like I think that I learned a lot from watching the way that you project manage. And I think that was quite a blessing to have a very nebulous framework. We didn't have extremely clear objectives. And I think I got a lot out of watching what was possible within the scope of like using a permaculture design, and then using remote tools to sort of back that up. Yeah, I also think there is some time spent capacity building. Miro was not a tool that everyone was familiar with, so I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like these unseen benefits that happen from doing an exercise where you end up building skills within the CoLab, because the process of doing the project has also brought us close together and created rapport and created a team that could actually like go forward. So I think that's some interesting side.
And it's been a fun experience. It wasn't approached like a task that we have to do. It was a kind of story told together, wasn't it? And I think that's what's really pleasant about this. So you can see that on our SMART objective, the aim was to complete by April 15, but we're still ongoing into this process.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you. The last project is the Glossary, the Permaculture Glossary project. We do not have representation for that, but George and I will reach out to them to see what happened to them. But that's it. Like, those were the projects that we've set on. Any thoughts before we move into the next section?
I just want to say to Danielle that I have responded to you on Slack just to say we can do the interview. So just let me know when. I'm keen. Thanks.
Yay. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Awesome. The next thing on the agenda is next steps PM. Anything you want to add here from a next step standpoint? I would love for you to share your support hours, Amy, that you normally do in the CoLab, and invite the groups to co-think with you, especially the ones that we've noted, the Landless project.
So I usually take calls Monday to Wednesday. You can find my meeting booking link in my Slack profile. So if you click on my face on the Slack, it will pull up my profile and there's a link there to book a meeting with me. So please feel free to do this, or if you can't find that, just send me a message and I'll send you the link. And yes, I will provide, maybe I think this is a common thing about revising the objectives and how to report this. So I'll post general instructions on how the teams can do this. So that's all the teams that are affected, not just the Landless Permaculturist in Africa project. And yes, this is when I'm usually available. If it's not Monday to Wednesday, then if you have a problem on a Friday and it's urgent, then please drop me a message on the Slack, and I usually check my messages quite often. It's just that it is my preference not to take calls, but if something is very urgent, then I'll take care of it. In terms of next steps, we're entering into the second sprint of this Emergent Festival. So even though we don't have a scheduled meeting until the end of year celebration, the festival coordinators are still on call to help you. So you can post in the channel and tag them, and they can guide you through. If you have questions about what was the reporting like, I don't know, by when should we do this or whatever, you can ask there, and we'll support you.
Yeah, and the Emergent Festival channel is open for all questions, answers, as Amy was saying. We'll also inform as the dates are coming up. Yeah, those are really next steps though. Keep an eye out on the channel and reach out.
Vida, you were unmuted. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that we don't have another session like this, but there is a Q3 reporting deadline. So we won't have live call, or we use the next steps contributor for that.
There is a next steps Q3, what we call it, forum.
Event forum.
That's the event forum. I would say this is more like it includes all the other projects. So we shouldn't wait until that event until if something comes up. So this is more, centered around the Emergent Festival projects. It may be that you have more room in this kind of limited space. But yes, that's another event that is happening also on the way. So that you're right, we will meet again before our end of year celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much.
It would be a nice opportunity also to share some of the outcomes by then, because I think by Q3 we should already have something to present to other people, some output, some artifacts, something nice. So that would be something interesting for other projects to see as well, because they would still have the last quarter for delivery, whereas we would be at the finish.
Cool.
Okay, how are we feeling?
Yeah, that's our checkout. How are we feeling? One word checkout.
Exciting.
Exciting. I saw thumbs ups go all over. Please unmute yourself and share your word and also say goodbye. This is it.
Balmy.
Gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Very
George,
cool.
for supporting me. Thank you, Amy, for supporting us and making our coordination crew work together. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support and the learnings from both sides. From all sides, I would say.
On site. From all sides, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I also just want to say also thank you to everybody, Amy and Joe and George and Vida, everyone really for bringing us here in these ways. We are super grateful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm very grateful as well. It feels like a room full of learning and collaboration.
Leonora, were you saying something?
No, I didn't know that Vida is talking. My apologies. I wanted to say I feel positive and I'm hopeful in everything. So thank you very much. And I'm so happy about the positive energy.
Yes. So here's my invitation. Unmute yourself and on my count, 1, 2, 3, say bye-bye, or in any language that you desire. And that will be the end of this call. Please unmute yourself.
Thokozani, hambani kahle, nilale kahle.
Ciao, nos vemos.
Bye.
Hasta pronto.
Bye, Jackie and Mumu.
Ciao.
Thank you for having a great time.
Hallelujah, lekker slaap, lekker slaap.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll stay. Amy, if you can stay for she left.